Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride. We're channeling the Man of the Moon. So, one thing I noticed is that we are really being deprived of our victory lap. We won the election. That is, Biden won. There's no question about this. I know we're all waiting for the next shoe to drop to see what will happen here, but the bottom line is Trump is not going to be president. This is a big win, and the other bottom line is he will become more and more obscure. Right? He just isn't going to have the power once he starts fighting off lawsuits. So, in the name of celebrating, I really want to take a look at the Republican Party and see how it is becoming divided because of Donald Trump's total selfishness. And let's see where we go. First thing I want to know is about the election. Loeffler and Perdue, the senators from Georgia. Let's take them one at a time. So I always get this when I'm looking at candidates and elections. It's like a dial. Now for me, the dial just moves strictly blue. There's just not much question about it. That it's blue. That she loses. Can you show me any more, Spirit? I see a tearful Loeffler. She seems worried about her stock exchange maneuvers. I do get that there will be legal trouble for her in the future. And it's legal trouble, not sure if she's going to go to jail, but legal trouble. I almost feel like she'll be locked out of the system, or she'll no longer be able to make these deals or something like that. Anything more about Loeffler? Great disappointment and fear on her part. David Perdue is the other guy. What do we know about Perdue? Well, in this case, it is an extremely close race. So where's that dial going? It's getting a little bit bluer. It's really, really close, you guys. I'm not necessarily certain. I would anticipate that this will become a slightly bluer place over time, but I am not certain. It's very, very close. Now, the funny thing is that usually I see just blue and red. I'm actually seeing a lot of black here, and when I think of that, I think of when I see black in this particular context. To me, it means people not voting. There's just going to be a lot of people who don't vote. Okay. And I do see the opponent, the guy opposing Perdue, looking pretty happy. Yeah, I think the Dems will win that one too, but just barely. And I don't think it's nearly as certain. Right. For some reason, Loeffler has taken more of the face of the crooked politician. She, for one reason or another, people associate her more with corruption. Show me again, Perdue. It's going to be so close with those two. I just feel very, very ambiguous about it. I feel that the Democrats will probably win, but it's not a certain. It's very much up in the air. So I'm just going to ask the question in general. I mean, are Trump supporters, are they going to undermine this and destroy the party? Okay, so here's Mitch McConnell. And he's got this like beast on his leash. It's like this beast. And the problem with the beast is it keeps changing form. So he's got it on a leash, but at some point that's not the neck anymore. It's like this amorphous cloud that he's trying to control, and it's starting to sort of like turn into gas so that he can't He can't control it. He doesn't know where it's going to go. McConnell's looking upset. Strangely, I don't know what this means, but McConnell gets on a horse. Okay, where's the horse going? Ah, it's like a runaway horse. He cannot control it. So understand, everybody, the Republican Party had a very clear plan. They wanted to unite a set of people who are, bigoted, anti-abortion, financially interested in the status quo, and they were able to unite those under one umbrella. They're not going to be able to do that anymore. So understand, it's not just this election. It's a bunch of elections. It's all elections in the future. They're still going to be debating whether Trump won or not. And they're still going to be receiving charges of, you didn't do enough. And so it has split the party. And all those crazy people who are, believe anything that they read on the internet, they're just going to go off and do their own thing. They're not going to trust the Republican Party anymore either, right? Because it doesn't say that lizard people are controlling the planet. They're not gonna. That portion of the group has split off, and they're just going to go do their crazy things. And this is going to be to a great frustration of the Republican Party. The Republican Party is going to lose a lot out of this, and it's not just one election. 16 years is what I get. They'll be answering to this. 16 years. And I don't know what happens then, but maybe Republicans get some power again. But 16 years, I guess, it's just the next. Maybe it means we'll be a Democrat for the next 16 years. All right. Spirit, what else? What else could we know about Republicans and what they're going to do? Trump has taken them, and he's like literally in a golf cart right up to the edge of a cliff. It's right up to the edge. And the people there who are trusting him to drive are panicking because they don't know whether he's going to hit the gas and go right off the edge or they're going to hang out there. The wheels are over the front. They're afraid to get off because the minute they step off, the whole thing might collapse. But that's what I would do, right? Just let Trump fall into the hole. That's what you would do, right? That's ultimately what the Republicans are going to do, is just let him kind of fall away. They will not be happy. They will be happy to see him gone. That will be the best thing that happened to them in a long time, is if Trump leaves. But the idea of Trump isn't going to disappear overnight. And people keep thinking that's going to be bad for the left. It's not. It's going to be bad for the right. Just McConnell looks very worried. And people are very angry and upset. I also have a feeling that that one of the Republicans might die. That I see a coffin, and one of the elderly Republicans will not survive. And because of that, that causes a great deal of upset to what they were trying to do, right? Either they get a new Republican there who doesn't toe the line, or they have a re-election. It's just going to throw them into chaos. Are they going to pass a stimulus bill? Well, this is another issue. The Republicans figured out that they need to pass something, or everybody's going to be homeless on December 26th, and they're going to spread the disease further, and not to mention, they'll just be starving in the streets. So they've decided that, yeah, we got to do this. But they're trying to figure out how to do it and still, manipulate people so that their friends don't get prosecuted. That's really complicated. And what makes it more complicated is that Trump is totally unpredictable. And if Trump's going to sign that, he's going to want something from the Republicans in return. Yeah, so now they're the ones under the thumb of Donald Trump. Right, and it won't like Trump look good either. So 60% of the Americans will kind of shift if they're not already to against Trump. Now you might say those numbers are there already, but there's a bunch of people in the middle who are kind of like whatever. But once these things come to pass, they will shift. I'm actually getting 62% will become much more anti-Trump if they are not already. Real difficulties. There's going to be real problems with the medical institutions because of the rapid increase of COVID. And that will be the thing that does change minds, is when people see the overwhelmed hospitals, when they experience someone who has perished or gotten sick because of COVID. That's when they're going to change their minds, not any sooner. And a lot of them will never actually say they changed their minds, but enough doubt has entered their minds so that they're kind of more not so sure. Or they just don't bring up the subject of conversation. They don't think about it because they can't deal with the fact that they were wrong. So that's going to take place too. But some people really will have a revolutionary change. And in a sense, it doesn't necessarily matter. The more people who support Trump now, the more problems it will create for the Republican Party. Thanks so much for watching.